Our brothers of the Society of St. John the Evangelist, and so we have a particular dedication to the fourth gospel and to its witness. It's a unique witness among the gospels. All of the gospels are important. They all teach us about Jesus and illuminate who he was and why he came and what he accomplished in a variety of ways. We find a particular affinity with the Gospel of John, the fourth Gospel. And as our rule says, as we come into this community, we'll learn to love and appreciate this Gospel. In one of the chapters of our rule, it says, if we are truly called by God into this society, we can be sure that the Gospel of John will be an unfailing source of life and light for us. If we become intimately familiar with it by prayer and study, its riches will prove to be limitless. In times of difficulty, when we're tempted to turn away, we should trust that this gospel will be our rock and mainstay. And I've certainly experienced that. My life has very much been shaped by this gospel and by its message. And this is the purpose of our 6-week video series here, to try to share this gospel with you and its message about love and life. The title of our series is Love Life, and we want to talk about the abundant life that Jesus promises us in this gospel. And we'll be looking at it through a variety of themes: revelation, invitation, participation, collaboration, and vocation. We'll look at those themes over the course of the 6 weeks, but we'll be really sharing from our hearts what this gospel means to us and what we believe it can mean to you all.
One of the things that has been so important for me to learn about the Gospel of John is we know that John was written later than probably any of the other Gospels, which means that we had 3 or 4 generations of Christian community, of people that could gather together and could have conversations about who Jesus was in their prayer, how they'd experienced the risen Christ in their lives. And it looks like they took particular healing events, miracle events in Jesus' life, and they literally had 3 generations of being in community to talk about what that meant. That's why there's so few stories in John's Gospel. What it really invites me into, and I think our community into, is a sense that Christ is always speaking a new word, and that while Scripture is important and these stories are important, there's an expectation from the Gospel of John that this is a tradition that's going to continue in the life of the church. So there's always a new word. And even though we live this very traditional life, my expectation for myself and for my brothers and for the people that we minister with is about a new word, an experience of the risen Christ that speaks to our situation and who we are.
One of the things I particularly love about John's Gospel is paradox of light and darkness, above and below. I think that we live our lives both firmly planted on this earth, with our hearts soaring for something that is above and beyond. And I think that John's Gospel helps us navigate this kind of liminal space in which we live, where we are firmly grounded in this world which God has created and which God has blessed again. We see in the coming of Jesus, who takes on human form. And yet in John's Gospel, we see Jesus pointing us to things above. I think that John's Gospel is an enormous navigational help for our finding our way, which is a word that appears in John's Gospel. How can we know the way? How can we find the way? Living in between, as we are, things earthly and things heavenly. We're passionate about this. Passion fills these texts of John, and we will be so glad to invite you on a daily basis to travel the way with us. Come with us.